Now, what are the different kinds of habitat is what we will be studying now, all one by one. Okay, but before that, you know, every habitat will have two divisions. What are they? One is the biotic component and the other is the abiotic component. So these are the two parts of a habitat. For example, if I just give you the example of a lake or a river, you know, just think for a second that this is a river. I'm drawing a river, right? There is fishes here. I don't know if I had again given this example to your class. There would be certain, you know, plants which would grow here. There would be a rock, pebbles, you know, some big rocky areas also, which is very normal to be had in a river. Here, you know, it would be either silt or sand at the base of the river. Of course, there would be water, right? There would be certain algae that would be floating on the surface of the river, right? There would also be a cute little turtle which would be happily swimming across, right? So this is like a picture of a complete river. Now, every habitat will have certain living things which is known as biotic and certain non-living things which is abiotic, right? Now, yeah, Fawaz, can you tell me in this river which are the living components?
Ma'am, in the river, the living components are fishes,
Okay,
sea turtles,
turtle, okay,
squids,
some weeds, okay. You said squids.
yes ma'am, and
Okay, squids, okay. I think so. Squids is normally found in the sea water or the ocean, but fine, all right. I'm considering an aquatic habitat. Okay, what else?
and
Here in this picture,
a lot of rocks.
a lot of algae are there, which is floating on the surface of the water here. There are certain plants here, right?
Yes ma'am.
There are certain aquatic plants, not general plants. And what are the abiotic components here? Neha, okay, all right, Fawaz. Now, Neha, tell me what are the abiotic components here?
Okay, ma'am. Rocks.
Rocks, very good. Rocks.
Ma'am, can I ask something like, what is that near the rocks you have drawn something, right? What's that?
Pebbles. Pebbles. Pebbles.
Yeah, pebbles.
Correct.
Okay, then.
Then we have air, soil, water, and sunlight.
Ma'am, the water also has a temperature, right? You can even add
Yeah,
that.
but that is a property of water. That is not a non-living thing. Water is a non-living thing.
Okay,
Okay,
ma'am.
all right. So now that we have divided the habitat into biotic and abiotic components, even in your house, there would be, you know, most of it would be non-living, but there would be a few living things also. Like you can have a pet, you would have some plants in your balcony, right? So there would be certain ants, mosquitoes, cockroach. These are all biotic.
I would like to ask that I have found yeast in my kitchen. Is that a living organism?
No, yeast is neither living nor non-living. I told you yeast falls into a category which is neither plant kingdom nor animal kingdom. Okay, because it belongs to the fungi family, which will only get activated once it gets a suitable environment, it gets food, only then it will get activated. That is when, you know, when we put some sugar, little hot water and then cover it, only then it will grow. So yeast is not to be considered, it falls neither living nor non-living. Okay, now a question that I want to ask all of you is that what is the need of an abiotic component? It's not needed. I cut it off. Can the biotic component survive?
No, ma'am, the biotic component cannot survive without the abiotic component.
Why? Why? Mamika, tell me why.
Ma'am, what?
Neha is saying that the biotic components will not survive if the abiotic is taken away. Why?
Ma'am, because air and soil is very important. All of these
Only
components are very important. So when both of them come together, only a habitat is formed.
correct. Correct. So Anjali, if I go take it the other way around, right? I cut off biotic components, right? And I only keep abiotic. So is that all right?
But ma'am, it's also like shelter. Like trees could be shelters for like a few bugs or animals, right?
Correct. So basically, then there would be no life on earth.
And some animals also eat like leaves or plants.
Correct. Correct. So basically, a tree can be a habitat for so many birds, for so many insects, snakes, monkeys, right? They all stay at night, on the tree branches, even under the tree. There's so many ants and so many kinds of insects. So it's kind of huge habitat for multiple living organisms. Yes.
Ma'am, biotic components cannot survive without abiotic components. But abiotic components can survive without biotic components, but they won't have any use.
They would not have any use. And also the plants that are dying, the animals that are dying, what are they getting converted into? They are getting converted to soil, isn't it? There's a little bit of dependency, but majority dependency the biotic has on abiotic. If there were no air, no soil, no water, no sunlight, there were no plants. And if there would have been no green plants, then no living organism would have survived. Correct?
Ma'am, can I tell
Yeah.
something like if only if abiotic components are not there, then there is no use of abiotic components.
Correct. Correct. It was just like the way, the planet Earth was millions and millions of years ago when not even a single microorganism was there, or just like any other planet, which is without any life. Okay. So now we have understood that abiotic and biotic both are necessary and they are kind of dependent on each other, right? Going one by one. First, air. Pragya, can you please read this 3 points of air?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Air is essential for all the living organisms on Earth. Ma'am, so should I explain along also?
Read out all the 3 points and then you can explain.
Okay, ma'am. Air is essential for all the living organisms on Earth. Plants and animals take in oxygen from the air during respiration. Plants take in carbon dioxide during the process of photosynthesis. So, ma'am, the first point means that air is essential for all the living things and organisms on the earth. And it means like everything around us needs air. Like it's our essential requirement. We cannot live without it for even like a minute or even a second.
So, sorry to interrupt you, Pragya. So, what does the air consist of? Any idea?
Yes, ma'am. It consists of gases.
What all gases? So, it's a mixture of gases.
Yes, ma'am.
What all?
Ma'am, like carbon dioxide, nitrogen, oxygen, carbon monoxide, and greenhouse gases.
Hydrogen.
Correct. So, to top it all, basically, it's the highest is nitrogen, 79%, and it's 21% oxygen, right? And the rest is other gases, which is, I guess, 0.005% and then 0.1% of other gases. So the highest is nitrogen. So if you, take a pie chart, for example, this entire portion will be nitrogen. This much is oxygen. And this slice is other gases. Right? Basically, nitrogen is also needed by plants, for their growth and development. Correct? Okay. Last point, Pragya.
Plants and animals take in oxygen from the air during respiration. It means that like plants and animals, everyone needs air for respiration. Whether like, for example, all animals like mammals, reptiles, and us, we need oxygen, and plants, they need carbon dioxide, and like ma'am, you said that they also need nitrogen. So all living things may need like different gases, but we all need air.
Correct. All right. Fine. Thank you. Now next, Anjali, can you please take us through soil?
Soil is the topmost layer of the earth. Soil is rich in minerals and
Organisms.
organisms which help in different ways for plant growth. Soil also processes certain spaces with large water particles.
Which large water particles. Okay, so what do they mean to, what are they trying to say? About the second point?
And it also like has a lot of minerals that help like plants grow. So most of our oxygen also comes from soil.
No, oxygen really doesn't come from the soil. The air itself has a lot of oxygen in it.
Yeah, but
right?
like
It has a lot of minerals and microorganisms. Right? What do they mean by minerals? Minerals means maybe, could be calcium, could be copper, could be sodium, could be potassium, could be phosphorus. These are the minerals which the plants require. And those are the plants which we consume. So indirectly, we are having all these minerals.
I didn't really understand that last point so well.
Soil also possesses certain spaces. For example, if this is soil, there are certain big, small pieces. These are all soil particles. So in between, there's a lot of gap. There's a lot of space. So these are the places, these are the spaces where they trap water. So when we water, for example, there's a plant here. And when we are trying to water a plant, the soil holds the water. How? Because it has a lot of space in between. That is how it holds the water.
Oh, okay.
Correct? So this is what they mean to say. They also help us in this way. For example, just imagine, think of a soil which did not have any holding capacity of water. What would have happened? How would you have watered the plants?
The water would be
It
above
would
the
dry
soil
too
and
fast.
nothing would go.
Yes, it would be completely dry. Just imagine if none of the, how would the rivers flow? Everything would have been flooded with water if they did not have any, absorption or soaking power, right?
Ma'am, can you please? 3/4 of the earth is covered with water. Water is essential for life. Water forms a medium for many metabolic reactions taking place inside the body. Water can be fresh water or marine water. Animals living in water are called as aquatic animals. Plants specially living in water are called as hydrophytes.
Correct. So what is the meaning of hydro?
Water.
Hydro means water. And what is the meaning of phytes? Phytes means plants.
Plants.
Yes, so you've got your meaning from here. So plants which are found in water are known as hydrophytes.
For example, water lily, lotus.
Yeah. They could be, fully submerged. They could be partially submerged. They could be floating. There are different types.
Hydra.
Hydra is not a plant.
Ma'am,
Yes.
what is the meaning of metabolic?
I'll tell you. What is the meaning of metabolic? I'll tell you. Now just go ahead and explain all of them point by point.
So most of the 3/4 of the earth is completely filled with water. And
Correct.
water is really essential, really needed for life on earth. if there be no water, there would be no life on earth at all.
Correct, yes. Then water
And the
forms a
second point-
medium for many metabolic reactions. Metabolic reactions would be, for example, the digestion that we are having in our body. That happens in the presence of water, right? The flowing of blood, that's happening within our body. That's also because of water. Because just imagine if there was no water, there was no plasma, how would the blood flow? It would have been all dry and hard, just like any solid. How would it flow through the pipes and through the capillaries and through the arteries? So there are so many metabolic reactions. For example, the urinary system. The basis of that is water. So that's what they're saying. Metabolic reactions, matlab, lot many changes. Even if you have to see the plants, photosynthesis itself happens only because there's water. Right, so water is the basis, or it's the necessary basic thing for many metabolic reactions. Now have you got it, Yashika?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Next
So,
3 points, yeah.
water can be either fresh or kind of dirty or
No.
unpurified or something.
No. Here, when they say fresh water, that means river water. And when they say marine water, that means sea water. River water is always a little sweet. They say sweet as in it's not really sweet, but it's not salty. And sea water is always salty.
Okay, ma'am.
Yeah. Even when you, I'm sure, many of you, whoever have fish, you would be seeing that there are two types of fishes, edible fishes. One is freshwater fish and the other is sea fish.
So, what are goldfishes?
What type
of goldfish?
So fresh fishes are fishes that are found in rivers. Sea fishes are fishes that are found in the sea.
So what kind of fishes are goldfishes?
I think so. Goldfish is I think so. It's kind of river fish. Because if it was marine fish, then it could not have survived in the normal water that we keep. It would require salty water. So goldfish is river fish, freshwater fish.
Yeah, we always keep normal water in the aquarium.
Normal water, yes, correct. Okay.
So let's go on. The animals living in water. You mean the fishes, the turtles, and all the other living creatures, biotic creatures, biotic components that live in water are called aquatic organisms.
Correct. The word aqua. The word aqua means water. Right? And organisms which live in water are called aquatic.